What is a tradition in your country that makes no sense to the rest of the world? Mummering, a Christmas tradition where groups dress up in costume and go from house to party, drink and dance until the homeowers get who you are. Not sure letting a bunch of disguised drunk people into your kitchen to dance would work anywhere besides a small town. We have a black pudding throwing festival in the village once a year. They erect scaffolding in the main road through town and put some big ass Yorkshire puddings on top of the scaffold. You pay a quid and get 3 black puddings to throw up and knock off as many as you can. It is pretty weird. Here in the Netherlands, when someone celebrates their birthday, we congratulate everyone that is present at the party. Let us say it is John's birthday party. People arriving at the party will congratulate everyone in the room by saying congratulations on John's birthday, or just congratulations Jeff felicitated. Oktoberfest, the real one. In Munich. I mean, everybody gets it. It's about drinking a crap ton of beer for a month in Lederhosen. But most don't know that it is an annual celebration of the wedding of a prince long dead, of a country that doesn't exist anymore. Bavarians like to make their parties organized and scheduled. I went to Munich for Oktoberfest one year, did not know too much about it at the time. And when we arrived at 5 PM we saw a guy being dragged out between 2 of his friends. Could not even lift his legs. That is when I knew I better buckle up. It was a blast. And, unbeknownst to us, we accidentally snuck into the seating outside a beer hall. We just walked in the exit as we found out later and sat down. After about 20 minutes we noticed the line of people waiting to get in. Whoops. By then we already had our beer and nobody had seemed to notice. So we kept rejoicing with our newfound friends that we just met. Definitely on my list to redo once things settle down. You didn't necessarily do anything wrong. There are reserved tables, and it is possible those people were waiting for this to free up. It is also just as possible that when you arrived, there was space in the tent or in the garden, and they let you in, only to close it up after you were inside. This happens all the time, since paying for a reservation is basically impossible due to long waiting lists and shitty scalpers who want thousands for their ticket. It is best to go with a small group. 2 is best, and be flexible and friendly. Go early and plan to stay all day, or go on Monday or Wednesday night. A low-key lunch during the week is also nice, and you're more likely to meet nice locals instead of blasted tourists in plastic traditional clothes they bought at the airport. I've been to Oktoberfest 3 times. Always have a great time and people are super friendly. Last time I went we went into a tent and immediately noticed the atmosphere was completely different to any others we'd been to. People were much more formally dressed. It wasn't as loud and it wasn't friendly at all. People barely made eye contact with us. Looked the name up in the guide and found the tent was traditionally for Bavarian aristocrats. Does that sound accurate? Watering women on Easter Monday so we do not wilt. It used to be done with a bucket of water. Nowadays it is usually just spraying some cheap cologne after saying a cringy poem. We still hate it. Imagine having 4-5 male relatives and friends attacking you with different scents of bad cologne. I did bet my ass it is the remnant of some forgotten pagan fertility rite. Old ladies spitting on beautiful young women that they are keen of. We have a tradition in which it is believed that some person can be bewitched by a bad eye in case someone looks at you with bad or jealous intentions. This happens, especially if you are beautiful, young, handsome, successful, etc. If someone looks at you like that, you can catch the bad eye and then have a lot of bad luck. If you catch the bad eye, there are rituals that can be performed to remove the bad eye. These are typically performed by old ladies or old men. They have to say a few secret words while looking at you and mixing oil and water. The oil catches the bad eye in the water as it forms the shape of an eye. The secret words are passed down from males to females and from females to males, but not through the same gender. To prevent catching the bad eye, there are a few methods. Either you can carry an eye jewelry with you, literally a blue circle in the form of an eye, or someone can spit on you. They believe if you are spat on, the bad eye sees the spit and does not think you are beautiful anymore. So if you are a young girl and you go to your grandma, they may say something, "Oh my god, you look so beautiful," and then spit on you. Of course they do not literally spit, they just pretend to spit. Grease. When you go to the sauna, you are supposed to get a bundle of these birch twigs and hit yourself and others with them in the steamy sauna. It is a purifying act and helps the blood circulation, but it is something foreigners often find strange. Also, cutting a hole into the ice in the middle of winter and going ice swimming. People are sometimes surprised to hear that doing this does not kill you. Midsummer, a Swedish thing. Basically, we Swedes dress up a cross or T with leaves and other things. Hang 2 rings made from whatever is green leaves, grass and flowers at each side of the longitudinal part of the cross or T. And now it looks like a DCK. Now what does a group of Swedes do with the midsummer star and the giant DCK looking thing? We dance around it, of course, and sing about washing our clothes and the small little frogs, while wearing wreath on our heads. And then we eat pretty much the same thing we do on Easter and Christmas, and there is generally a shit ton of alcohol involved. Midsummer was and is meant to celebrate fertility. That is why the whole DCK edit the last part was what I was taught in 5th grade by the school nurse at the super awkward talk about puberty. She even brought a book to ruin Midsummer for us. I did not see that connection before, and if it is incorrect or a myth as some redditor claimed, then that is the Swedish school system for you. In England we have a similar Irish tradition, though it is quite rare now. We have a maypole, which is basically a big wooden pole, sometimes decorated with flowers and greenery. Long ribbons are attached to the top and people hold the bottom as they dance around the maypole, which means that the pole gets wrapped with ribbons as you dance. It normally happens on May Day, which is a public holiday on the 1st of May. Day of the Death Deity Muertos is pretty known to be celebrated in Mexico, but there is this tradition of Death's Day of writing a calaverita, which is a poem you write to a friend or member of the family, narrating how they died or would die in a comedic way, basically making fun of the demise of our loved ones. In Norway we have a thing called Russ. It is basically that they celebrate that they are done with high school, and it is celebrate from May 1st to May 17th. When our constitution was written. I just watched a Danish Netflix show that showed a tradition like that, where all the high school students went around in a bus and stopped to drink outside all their parents' houses in the day and went off to party at night, wearing these kind of sailor looking caps. It was such a great idea. Is that a similar thing in Norway? On Yom Kippur, from evening to the following evening, no one drives motor vehicles throughout 90% of the country. For that period, the roads belong to children bicycling and skating. Often kids aged 12 and higher use the opportunity to cycle to neighboring cities. Boys before entering middle school age are required to have circumcision. It is considered and mandatory a rite of passage in our culture. In super rare cases where a boy refuses circumcision, he is automatically emasculated. This is further fabricated with stuff related to puberty, that circumcision would automatically turn you into a man. Number not true at all. The age of circumcision is the pre-puberty age. Biological changes will happen regardless. I'm Colombian. I live in Colombia, and here, we start celebrating Christmas 9 days before the actual 24th of December. Let me explain. We have something called the novenas, which would be literally translated as ninths. But I know it does not make sense, so we are just gonna call them novenas. Here, we invented a weird version of Christmas, in which it took Jesus Christ 9 days for him to go from wherever he was before to Jerusalem. And as here in Colombia we celebrate everything for an excuse not to work. So we celebrate all 9 days of Jesus' trip. In those 9 days we usually go to other people's homes. We pray the novena, which is what we invented. We open gifts, we eat a lot, and then we just leave, and that is for 9 days previous to the 24th. So, yeah. Here in Colombia we start celebrating Christmas 9 days before everyone in the world. In Myanmar teenage couples go to the park and sit behind privacy umbrellas. On sunny days the parks are dotted with all these open umbrellas with young couples hiding behind them. Not my country, but spent some years there. In Denmark, if you are unwed on your 25th birthday, your friend will come and tie you to a pole of some sort, douse you in water or oil, and then pour crazy amounts of cinnamon on you. Some people fill up fire extinguishers with cinnamon. On your 30th birthday it is done with pepper. Oh, and there is of course alcohol and pranks involved too. On the first Sunday in February, everyone watches the National Football League Championship, known as the Super Bowl. It is usually a party with lots of food, oftentimes wings and pizza or a 12-foot sub. We watch overproduced commercials, an American football game, and a cool concert at an intermission. It is pretty solid, especially when everyone arrives at work hungover and groggy. It is even more fun when your coworker is running Super Bowl boxes, because everyone knows who suddenly has an extra 3,000. Tarif. Take taxi fare for instance. When you want to pay for it in Iran, the driver kindly says that you do not need to pay for it and this money is not worthy gabble nada. You need to insist on paying until he accepts your money. This is the case for wherever you want to pay somebody. P.S. This word is used for other similar situations, like asking a visitor to enter your home, while you do not mean that, and the visitor has to politely refuse. 11 AM stands in a moment of silence in a military cemetery of silence. Every alarm siren in the land goes off. 9 hours later every square meter of the country is party time. Fireworks in the sky go bang on each other's head with squeaky hammer-shaped balloons with the national flag on them, and spray each other with soapy foam. Meat cookouts. All musicians tour every city in one night. I still believe we need a spacing day in the middle. We eat 12 grapes alongside the 12 last bell chimes of the year to start the new one with good luck. The grape eating is even televised. So you have got 2 celebrities in front of the tower clock in the Capitol and 12 little grape pictures that tell you when to eat each grape just in case you miscount the bell chimes. We always start the year half laughing half choking on grapes. Frozen Dead Guy Festival. A dead grandpa named Bredo Morstol was brought to Colorado from Norway. His daughter and grandson kept him on ice for years. Long story short, after court proceedings and new laws, Grandpa was put in a tough shed where he's got a caretaker to ice him, and the whole town gets drunk, races coffins, polar plunges, etc. to honor dead frozen grandpa once a year. Then there is a second weird festival in Colorado, like the Headless Chicken Festival. A guy cut the head off a chicken to feed the neck to his mother-in-law in 1945. The damn chicken lived through that shit for almost 2 years. The guy fed him through his neck hole. Now, people celebrate the headless chicken by eating chicken, showing off chickens, and having a car show. A lot of weird dead shit to celebrate in Colorado. We all love a BBQ, and will throw one whenever the sun appears. We mostly cannot barbecue for shit in terms of both ingredients and cooking method. Burnt raw chicken and some hockey puck supermarket burgers. Want a sauce to liven that up? Hope you like ketchup, because that is all that is there. Oh, we have mayo also, you lucky so and so. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing for more videos.